This week on Weekly News, we'll take a look at homelessness in Pontotoc County.
We'll also see how Habitat for Humanity has affected one local family.
All this and more coming up on Weekly News. Please stay with us.
Of East Central University, welcome to the Weekly News with David Emmons, Jennifer McMahan-Curliss, Jeremy Stout with sports, and Shonda Holmes, serving East Central, Ada, and the surrounding community. Recorded live from ECU Studios, this is the Weekly News.
And Curliss. Welcome to this edition of Weekly News.
Most of us think homelessness only plagues big cities like New York or Los Angeles, but we took a closer look at this issue right here in Ada and learned that at least 275 people in Pontotoc County were homeless last year. Project coordinator for the Ada Area Community Emergency Services, Gayla Calloway, says the religious nonprofit organization tries to help people who cannot receive assistance elsewhere. Calloway says ACE's main goal is to help homeless people become self-sufficient. But it's important to know homelessness doesn't just affect adults. The heartbreaking truth is, the average age of a homeless person in the United States is 9 years old. But this is no surprise since 60% of homeless women have children who live with them. Calloway says it's important to teach people not to stereotype those who become homeless. According to the 1999 National Survey of Homeless Assistance Providers and Clients, almost half of those who are homeless have a job, but simply don't make enough to support themselves or their families. The Department of Human Services Social Service Specialist Supervisor Don Venable says the state of Oklahoma in Pontotoc County doesn't have a homeless program. However, with 64% of homeless people having drug or alcohol problems and another 39% suffering from mental health problems, DHS is able to provide medical assistance for those who qualify. Food stamps may also be provided. If you'd like more information about ACEs or would like to donate, please call 580-272-0211. Train accidents occur every 90 minutes in the United States. However, the Federal Railroad Administration says the number of railroad accidents has declined by 75% in recent years. According to an FRA report, railroad-related fatalities also fell by 75%. But the FRA reminds us that most railroad accidents are preventable. The National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health suggests following these safety tips. Number 1, always remember approaching trains appear to be traveling slower than they really are. Number 2, it takes a fully loaded train traveling at 50 miles per hour 1.5 miles to come to a complete stop. Number 3, before crossing the tracks, roll down your windows and turn off the radio to listen for the train horn. Number 4, never back up or stop on the tracks. If the gate comes down on your vehicle, keep driving until you've crossed the tracks. Number 5, never drive around lowering gates and never race a train to cross the tracks. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a hidden danger in many homes and businesses. Carbon monoxide is an insidious gas that is tasteless and odorless. Carbon monoxide can go undetected without careful observation. Carbon monoxide gas is produced by the incomplete combustion of woods or hydrocarbon products. 50% of all carbon monoxide incidents occur in the home and 20% in businesses. Ada Fire Marshal Don Moore says symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning are flu-like and can range from headache and dizziness to disorientation and nausea. The best way to prevent carbon monoxide is to install detectors and read and follow instructions correctly.
Habitat for Humanity is an organization which has built over 175,000 homes worldwide. Here in Ada, Habitat helped Carrie Shaw and her children build a home and touched her heart in the process. Here is Lacey Jade Scott with more.
Habitat for Humanity International unites people from all backgrounds to help needy families around the world. In Ada, Habitat has built and refurbished 21 homes in 10 years. One of those homes belongs to Carrie Shaw.
I did apply for a home and was approved for this one. Put a lot of sweat hours into it when I could, had a lot of good friends and family that helped, and it became a new beginning for me. All I ever wanted was a place where my kids could always say, I can go home. And this is it. This is It's as special to me today as it was 2 years ago.
Ms. Shaw says she believes she has put in close to 5,000 hours working with Habitat for Humanity.
It is such a worthy cause, and there are so many more people out there that deserve it more than I do, and I'm so thankful to have it. And from as long as I'm able to, I will help other people get into their homes, whether it be through donations, publications, sweat hours when I can.
Ms. Shaw hopes to continue working with Habitat for Humanity, but for now, she's just proud of her flowers. Reporting for Weekly News, this is Lacey Jade Scott.
The Latta High School DECA chapter recently participated in a clothing drive for needy children. The group collected clothes from the school and donated them to a worldwide company called Cintas. The Latta students donated over 500 pounds of clothing. Cintas will distribute the clothing to children all over the world.
Many people in Ada don't realize the trouble they are causing when they pass stopped school buses. Here's Katie Ackerman with more on the problem.
Ignoring this sign can put a child's life in danger.
Sometimes people stop. Sometimes they stop for just a second and then they proceed around the bus while the stop sign is still out and the door is still open and children are loading and unloading the bus. And that's the problem. You know, the bus drivers are trying to keep the kids safe and are trying to make sure people obey the law, and many times they don't. And it's frustrating to the bus drivers because they're in charge of trying to keep these kids safe while they're loading and unloading the bus, and then someone drives around the bus and they're just afraid, like everyone is, that we're going to get a child injured or hurt.
I have at least one almost every day. Usually at one of the schools, I stop at 3 different elementary schools, and it's usually at the elementary schools where they run my red lights. And there's usually 4 buses parked end to end, and we all have our red lights out.
Many times these are small children, many times these are handicapped children, and they may just decide to take off and run. If they run around the front of a bus and somebody hasn't stopped, it's a scary thing, but you could have a child injured real easily that way.
Reporting for Weekly News, this is Katie Ackerman.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the Ada City Council. Stay with us. Great things are happening in Ada thanks to Proposition 1. The 3/4 of a cent sales tax was passed in 1998 to improve the city's infrastructure. Since then, the tax has paid for various projects such as a new water tower, repairs to water and sewer lines, and street construction. Upcoming projects include street repairs to Park Drive and Constant Street, as well as street repairs at railroad crossings. Proposition 1 was renewed in August 2002 and will extend until April 2008.
May 3rd, 2004 marked the last working day for Sykes employees in Ada. Since then, the building has stood empty, with many Adans wondering about its fate. Amy Hughes has more on what will come of the building.
It's been a year now since Sykes Enterprises announced that it was closing the doors to its Ada facility, leaving over 400 employees without a job. Many rumors circulated concerning what would come of the building, some saying that it would be sold or leased to another company, while others saying that it would shortly reopen.
Last month, Sykes announced they were closing a center overseas. Some former employees in Ada were hopeful that this might mean the reopening of the local building.
One of the clients that Sykes had here in Ada is shutting down a center in India, and they haven't said for sure where they're going to move to, but it is a possibility that they could come back to the United States.
According to an 8K form filed by Sykes, they are planning to move to other offshore facilities in the Asian Pacific. However, it is the obvious maintenance of the building that is raising eyebrows.
They have done a lot of maintenance on the building. They haven't let the building go in any way. I've heard they've done repairs inside the building, and the parking lot is in disarray. They repaved the parking lot, and I don't understand why they would maintain the building and upgrade the building, yet not advertise the building for sale. I think there's a underlying hint in there that they may possibly be reopening.
When asked whether or not there were plans of reopening, Andrea Burnett, a Sykes public relations official, told us that she is unaware of any such plans at this time.
According to the Sykes Real Estate Department, the building has also not been sold and remains on the market. This is Amy Hughes reporting for Weekly News.
Did you ever want or need to know how to get something on the agenda for an Ada City Council meeting? All you need to do is go down to City Hall to the City Manager's office and see Teresa Lewis. There, she will have you fill out a simple form that tells you what you want talked about and how. Another way is to write a letter to the Ada City Council stating what you would like talked about. The deadline to have something put on the agenda is the Tuesday before the meeting. The council meets the first and third Monday of each month.
Ada Jobs Foundation has been working hard to bring new businesses to Ada. Economic Development Director Carleen Hill tells us more about the strategy behind finding the right businesses for the Ada area.
The Ada Jobs Foundation is an economic development partnership. We represent many of the organizations in the community that are all striving to improve the wealth of the community. Our mission is to create and retain high-quality jobs for the Ada area. We spend most of our time focusing on new manufacturing as opposed to new retail, because we think the retail follows. If you've got people that have jobs, the retail will follow where the dollars are. In order to make the best use of the economic development dollars that we have to spend, we try to identify businesses that would be the best fit for Ada.
Ada's Chamber of Commerce says all new businesses are welcome. Reporting for Weekly News, this is Aleshia Altizer.
January is the National Volunteer Blood Donor Month, which is also recognized by the President as a national holiday. The Oklahoma Blood Institute starts a new round of blood drives this time every year. OBI collects from 75% of Oklahoma and is one of the main contributors to the nation's blood supply. The most recent blood drive for the East Central Oklahoma Blood Institute was at the Carl Albert Indian Health Facility. Last year during the blood drive's events, Governor Brad Henry said that the Oklahomans are the best donors. For more information about future blood drives, call the East Central OBI at 580-436-0384.
The Gathering, a night of contemporary music and praise and worship, takes place every third Thursday of each month. The gathering is made possible by a collective effort of several campus ministries, students, and youth pastors. Everyone is welcome to attend the night of worship. Though the location of the event sometimes changes, it usually takes place in the Dorothy Summers Auditorium at ECU at 7 p.m. For more information on the gathering and to find out where it will be held, visit the website at adagathering.com.
Ada is a small town with a growing future. Ada is welcoming a new store to the area. Weekly News reporter Anthony Kanedy has more on the story.
Ada welcomes a new business, Home Depot. Home Depot is one of the largest supply chains in the United States. Also bringing with it will be over 125 jobs to Ada. Speaking with Mayor Darryl Nemechek, this is what he had to say about the new business moving in.
The surrounding communities around Ada, in the trade center in this area, they'll come to Ada because we don't have anything like that here in Ada. I think a lot of people would drive to Shawnee to Lowe's up there, where now I think that they would, they will be coming here to Ada.
A hiring trailer for the Home Depot will be in Ada on April the 11th to fill the store with new employees. The grand opening is scheduled for June the 30th. Reporting for the Weekly News, this is Anthony Kanedy.
Coming up in sports, we'll take a look at Coach Tim McCarty's first season as ECU head football coach. Please stay with us.
Once you see the world through math and science, you'll never see anything the same way again. Go to girlsgrowtech.org.
You'll see. So, what do you think is going to be new in sports this week?
A lot is new in sports. A new coach tells us about his first season as ECU's football coach, and a new baseball season as well underway. The East Central Tiger baseball team took on Arkansas Tech in a two-day doubleheader on February 12th and 13th. Friday's game started off well for the Tigers as they took Game 1 with a winning score of 14-1. The Tigers scored 8 runs off of 9 hits and got a little help with 2 errors from Arkansas Tech, all in the first inning of the game. 5 Tigers had 2 hits in the 7-inning game. Matthew Stout went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 3 runs batted in, while Kevin Wilkett was 2 for 5 with a double and 4 RBIs. The Tigers also took Game 2 5-2. Spears, who upped his record to 2-0, worked all 7 innings, allowing only 2 earned runs off of 5 hits, walking just 3 and striking out 4. Teammate Matthew Stout also went 2 for 3 with a single and a run scored in the 5th and an RBI single down the right field line in the 7th. The Tigers ran out of the juice as they lost the game on Saturday's doubleheader 5-4. Game 2 of the doubleheader was canceled due to rain. With the 2 wins, East Central is now 4-2 on the season. The Tigers will remain idle until Friday 18th on Friday, where they will take on the Texas A&M Kingsville at 4 p.m. 2004 marked the first season for East Central University football coach Tim McCarty. The Tigers finished with a record of 6-4 after going just 3-8 last year. With the report on Coach McCarty and his thoughts of his first season, here's Micah Groves.
In 2004, a new era began for the East Central University Tiger football team, an era that involved new head football coach Tim McCarty. Coach McCarty has a reputation for turning programs around.
As far as turning the program around, I mean, time tells, on a program turnaround. I mean, we're thankful with what we've accomplished. I don't know if we moved ahead of where we really were in reality or not. I mean, we've worked hard since we've gotten here. Our players have worked hard. The organization has worked hard. I do believe when you work hard, good things happen. We've maintained our focus as coaches and are trying to make sure that, under our watch, that we've taken the program a different direction.
As for the future, Coach McCarty is optimistic.
Well, I tell you this, I think we will be a better team. What you can't say is you can't say how some of the other teams will be.
Regardless of records or outcomes, Coach McCarty has enjoyed his time so far at ECU.
Oh, this has been great. We're really looking forward to our future. I mean, we really the community, the school, the alumni, the administration, our players, everybody that has been and is affiliated with our university has been incredibly supportive. Have made me feel welcome, and I'm a Tiger now.
For Weekly News, this is Micah Groves.
The East Central University men's basketball team faced Southwestern Oklahoma State University on Saturday, February the 12th. The Tigers struggled early, shooting 32% from the field in the first half, while Southwestern shot a blazing 65%. East Central trailed by 4 at the end of the first period. The Tigers turned up the D in the second period, holding the Bulldogs to only 42% from the field. Dominique Williams hit a three-pointer with 15 seconds left in the game, pulling the Tigers within 1 point. But that would be as close as the Tigers would get. East Central falls 69-64. Larry Smith led the Tigers with 19 points. The 2004-2005 high school basketball season is winding down. B-ball fans, get out your game face paint and bring your pom-poms. It's time for the play. The Ada Cougars will be on the road next weekend for Class 5A postseason action. The Lady Cougars will be traveling to Lawton Mac on February 24th. Tip-off against El Reno is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. The boys will go to Southeast on February 25th. The Cougars will battle Western Heights. Tip-off for this game is also scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Sulphur Oklahoma Soccer Association will be having their spring sign-up February 24th from 5 to 7 p.m. and February 26th from 10 to 1 p.m. at Sulphur Chamber of Commerce. If any children in the Sulphur or Ada area are interested or have questions, contact SOSA President Wes Harden at 580-622-5385. With spring just around the corner, the upcoming sports season is starting to make a buzz. Basketball playoffs, baseball, and softball all bring in big fans. But what about rugby? The British-born sport has made its way to Ada. Oklahoma by way of East Central University. The Tigers are holding practice every Tuesday and Thursday in preparation of a Big 12 regional competition hosted by the University of Oklahoma. Though new to rugby, the Tiger Ruggers hope to make Ada and their university proud. Coming up, Shonda will take a look at the CLEAT program as well as ECU's counseling services. Please stay with us.
Collegiate Officer Program at East Central University gives students the chance to obtain the training and education needed to complete the State of Oklahoma Peace Officer Certification. According to the Oklahoma Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training, students who complete the program may have an advantage for employment options in the law enforcement field. To enroll in the CLEAT program, students must meet certain educational requirements, be advised by the ECU Police Science and Criminal Justice Department, and have no record of a felony conviction or conviction of a crime involving moral turpitude. For any ECU student who needs someone to listen, the university offers free personal counseling services. The sessions are 1 hour long and completely confidential. There are 2 counselors on hand to offer support. The counseling office is located inside the ECU Nurse's Office, room 137, next to Taft Cafeteria. In order to schedule an appointment, contact the ECU nurse at 580-310-5713. The Chickasaw Nation has big plans for the McSwain Theater. Our own BJ Ecahard reports.
The Marx Brothers. Roy Rogers. What do they have in common? They have both performed in Ada at the McSwain Theater.
There's a story about when the Marx Brothers were kids and in vaudeville that they did perform in Ada. And Ada supposedly is one of the first places that they started developing their comedic act. There are pictures of Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, and Gabby Hayes, who stopped and did a little show at the McSwain.
After a great deal of wear and tear over the years, the McSwain Theater is getting a facelift.
Our goal at the tribe would be to take this McSwain and get it back to its original state back in 1923, which will include the awning out front. You go upstairs, you go to the second floor, you get to the second floor, and we have a room up there that will be the art room. The third floor will be the offices, which will house 2 of our employees. When you go into the auditorium, it's basically going to be exactly the way it was built in 23. Right now there's an extension on the balcony that extends out 15 feet. That will be taken down. So we'll be doing a lot of tribal functions here, formal functions, and then also there's a need out there where a lot of the locals here miss the performances that they used to do here, the singing and stuff like that. So there will be a lot of that going on here.
Will the future of the McSwain be as bright as its past? Will the McSwain curtain open to the next Roy Rogers? I guess we'll have to buy a ticket and find out. Reporting for Weekly News, this is BJ Ecahard.
Coming up, we'll take a look at Kanawha's award-winning band director. Stay with us.
Yo, what's up, baby? Wanna learn some history? Check it out, check it out.
Your GED right here, guaranteed, man. Come on, check
Hey,
it out.
how you doing? Educational videos, top quality, right here.
I got live learning, beautiful books inside.
The National Center for Family Literacy.
Yo, I got your arithmetic right here.
Because you can't get your GED on the street. Call 1-877-FAM-LIT1 for free learning programs like GED and family computer classes.
Who needs a high school diploma, huh?
The National Center for Family Literacy. The first step to a better life.
The U.S. Department of Labor issued new youth employment rules on Monday. The new rules restate the absolute ban for on-the-job driving by 16-year-olds and clarifies limited circumstances under which 17-year-olds can drive on the job. Federal law on this subject has been clear for years, whereas the state law is silent. Oklahoma Commissioner of Labor, Brenda Reno, says the new rules provide Oklahoma with a great opportunity to be in harmony with federal requirements relating to minors. Funds for a mission to service the Hubble Space Telescope have been eliminated from the 2006 White House budget request. The Hubble has been orbiting the Earth since April 1990. Services on the telescope are expected to cost over $1 billion. Many astronomers still use the Hubble to glimpse at the most distant stars. ECU professor Dr. Carl Rutledge believes the Hubble has been more important scientifically than the space station or going to the moon. Dr. Rutledge also thinks we should go ahead and try to keep the Hubble going for as long as we can. East Central University offers many services to students and the community. One of these services is the ECU Observatory. Weekly News reporter Nick Isom tells us more.
I'm here at the East Central Observatory, where the Astronomy Club provides opportunities for East Central students and the Ada community to view the planets and stars. We talked to Dr. Rutledge to find out more about the observatory.
The observatory was built in 2000. The telescope had been at 3 different locations before, and we really didn't have a good place for it where it could be protected. It was just covered with either a tarp or with a little structure that was just covered with canvas, so it wasn't well protected and it had deteriorated quite a bit. Society of Physics students and the Astronomy Club got together and we did the concrete work, and one of the students took it on as a project to make the plans to work with me to design it. We need to find a way to protect the telescope, so we have to have it in some kind of building. And our idea was just to put casters under it, like you have on something to move furniture or on a cart, and then just roll it back onto a concrete slab. For our astronomy students and for the public, we have about 5 viewings in the fall and 5 viewings in the spring. We try to schedule them about 2 or 3 weeks apart, about half of them when the moon is in the sky and about half when it isn't. We try to make it where people can see the planets if they're up, and anything else interesting, like if there's an eclipse or if there's a comet or anything like that, we'll have a special viewing for that.
The ECU Observatory is located on the east side of the East Central campus, just north of the East Central physical plant. Viewings are held periodically, and more information can be found by contacting Dr. Rutledge or the East Central Science Department. Reporting for Weekly News, I'm Nick Isom.
After school and summer programs are kept alive by Campfire USA. The national organization, which began in 1910, offers local clubs based on age level from kindergartners up to high school seniors. These clubs provide excellent learning opportunities for community youths. Campfire USA also provides community service, in-school programs, and classes on important issues. In Oklahoma, children participate in summer camps sponsored by Campfire. Though community efforts, Campfire USA lives up to its motto, today's kids, tomorrow's leaders. To find out more, the number is 580-332-1360. Kanawha Band Director Donnie Longest has been recognized by a national magazine for his achievements as a high school band director. Here's Jarrod Morse to tell us more on this prestigious award.
Mr. Donnie Longest has been the band director here at Kanawha Schools for 10 years. He was just recently recognized in the December 2004 issue of School Band and Orchestra magazine as one of the 50 directors who make a difference. He was also recognized as the 2004 Band Director of the Year by the Oklahoma Bandmasters Association. When asked about these honors and about what he's been doing at Kanawha High School, Mr. Longest had this to say.
Well, it's a very high honor, you know, that some of my peers thought enough of what I have done, you know, to recommend me. And, you know, hopefully I am making a difference, you know, with kids. You know, certainly as teachers, we don't necessarily do it to get rich, you know. So hopefully we feel like we're making a difference with kids that, you know, help them down the road somewhere.
Reporting for the Weekly News, I'm Jarrod Morse.
That's all for this edition of Weekly News.
Thanks for watching.
The Weekly News is produced by mass communication students in the Communication Department at East Central University. Weekly News serves the East Central University campus. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of East Central University or the service provider.